I am die cut crazy, I admit, and my favorite recently type of dies and card layouts are slimline or longer skinny cards that fit into a number 10 size envelope. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Heshik, and one way to stretch our die cut purchases is to find different ways to use them. Recently, two of my favorite companies for awesome but inexpensive dies came out with slimline sets. I bought these two sets from Gina Marie Designs. This one's called the Big and Little Chain Stitched Slimline Set. If you look on her website, you'll see that she has many shapes. We're using the big and little chain dots. It's a big dot and little dots together. I have the ovals and the circles and the squares, and now she's come out with a slimline set like that. And then I also purchased the Scalloped Stitch Set, which again has scallops and stitches. So now we have anywhere from 4 to 6 different sizes of the slimline dies to layer them and come up with real interesting looks, which I'm going to share with you. I also purchased this double stitched set from Scrappiness, and I'm going to show you how I've used that. This one has 6 different dies, and they're both very reasonably priced compared to other sets that maybe have one, so I do recommend them very highly. And of course I'll have links to all the products I'm sharing in the description box. I decided to try many different fun folds with layers of slim dies for this video. This first one is a slimline easel card. I did my favorite eclipse technique there with some letters, love, popping up, and then I used the that big and little chain die from Gina Marie Designs, and just look at the interest that adds. So it's around there, and then there's another layer, the next size. So to me, rather than just plain rectangles, these different stitching and unique dies really add interest. And then an easel card, you fold it in half on there and it stands up. And then I also did one of the smaller dies for the part that pops that up. So I thought that one turned out really pretty. And then you can get some matching number 10 envelopes, somewhat matches anyway, and they'll fit in that to mail flat. I also did a screen divider card. So I used the Scallop Stitched for this baby card, and it's called a screen divider card because it stands up with 4 separate screens. You use like a punch or a die there to make like legs, and then this one too is a fun fold that I made years ago, and I just think that these new dies, not only the slimline dies but also all the other dies that I used on here, which are many, just makes for a very fun, unique card that stands up. So that's the screen divider card. And then I tried an inside tunnel card. Now Jennifer McGuire had done a video where she showed how to make the layered pop-up inside tunnels, and I adjusted it for slimlines, and because I had the different, this is the stitched in and out stitches from Scrappiness, the different sizes in the dies, I was able to make 2 layers. This is a 30th anniversary card for my husband. Our anniversary is coming up, so I made it, and then and his favorite color is orange and yellow, mostly orange. On the front I have, again, 2 layers of those stitched dies that adds, unique interest, and then it opens and pops up like that. This is a trifold window slimline card. So again, you can do the trifolds, but adding those extra stitching and stuff really makes it interesting. So I needed a fall themed birthday card, and I made this trifold where you open it up and then you can see the inside through both of those, and then you have a trifold. The sentiment, happy birthday to you, it shows through the window, and I just added a whole bunch of colored leaves, and that's a trifold window slim card. And that's the style that I am going to be showing you how to make. I am featuring on this card the double stitch slimline dies that I showed you. I just love sets of dies that are double stitched, because you can see that if you cut a piece out, you have the stitching. But then when you, you know, in this piece, but then whatever is left also has stitching. And I just think that it just adds such unique interest to the cards. So I have started with a piece of green linen cardstock that's 8.5 inches tall by 10 1/4 wide, and I scored it at 3.5 and 6 7/8. So when I make a trifold card, I like the front layer to be just slightly wider than the other layers so that it lays nice. So this will fold this way and this will fold this way. And I've attached a layer of the designer paper that I chose, and I cut it out with that stitching on there. And then I've used another double stitching die to cut a window in there. So this rectangle double stitching is from Kreative, and so there is a rectangle opening there. And then I'm going to take the die and, oops, I need to attach, there's another layer of that pretty designer paper cut out with that stitching on there, and I am going to attach this to the second flap of this unfold, trifold. And then I need to line this up so that I need some temporary tape. The window is going to be in the same place. And apply some temporary tape and make sure that we've got it pretty straight here. I am going to cut this, but my electronic die cutting machine is by my desk and it's too small because I have to lay this out flat to cut it. So I'm going to run over to my Tangerine from Tonic, which is bigger, and I'll be right back. So I have cut the second hole so you can see through the first flap and the second flap back to that back piece. And I have glued on Thinking of You, which is a sentiment from Sue Wilson and Creative Expressions, as is this Wishing You Well, which is going to go in there to be able to be seen through the window. So I will attach that with my favorite glue, the Bearly Art Precision Glue, that has a nice fine tip, but it doesn't clog. It has a really nice pin that goes in there, and also it's easy to clean, and there's other, you can choose the wider tips as well. So and the glue holds really well and dries clear. So it is my current favorite glue, and I use it all the time. And of course there's a link to it in the description. So, wishing you well is going to go right in there. I like that expression better than get well soon. It just can be used for, you know, other purposes. It can be somebody who is moving. I'm thinking of them as they move or change jobs or whatever, and I'm wishing them well. But sometimes it means I'm wishing that you feel better and get well. So it's an expression I really like, and I was happy to see that Sue Wilson and Creative Expressions came out with that. On the front of the card, I am going to attach a tri-layer sparkler butterfly from Birch Press Designs. I like the layering look, and there's actually a fourth layer, but I really like it this way. And there's a gem from my favorite Gina Marie Designs, and I'm going to use a glue dot to attach that in the center. But I also have some little sticky strips from, okay, it's not going to come to me right now, Motion Crafts. I like to raise the wings and that way when you mail it, the wings still stay up through the mail. So that's just the way I like to attach my butterflies. So I'm going to push down on the center and then attach the sticky strips so that the wings are raised. And then I just thought maybe we needed some more butterflies. I've punched some with a punch from EK Success, and I have more available. Usually I design these cards completely and then show you another one, but I didn't have enough of this paper to do that. So I think I'm going to put one there. That you can see through. I'll use the bigger one there and the smaller one here. And this is that same pretty designer paper, and I did a little sponging around the edge to make them stand out. So we have 1, 2, need another on the front maybe. Kind of want to keep it in trio or 3 of them. So maybe here. And of course I need to add a few gems, because in my world all butterflies have to have gems. And I like that you can choose a slightly smaller size. This one has a medium. Do you think I need a medium on that one? Let's see. Yep, I like it. So we have a pretty butterfly trifold window card using the stitching, and see, here's what you can see that you have stitching on the outside of the rectangle as well as the outside. I'm sorry, so you get that double stitching look, which I think is really cool. And then you can see through that one, thinking of you, wishing you well, with a couple more pretty punched butterflies. I had fun making these Slimline Fun Fold cards using my new layering dies from Scrappiness and Gina Marie Designs. I hope my cards inspired you to give these ideas and dies a try. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.